While planning the conference, our small Hobart's Run team was talking about how many relatively new businesses are thriving and evolving in Pottstown, and how many businesses are being started. It became clear that women are playing a major role in Pottstown's entrepreneurial spirit. We decided to offer a seat at this table, literally, to some of the women who are not only believers, but investors in Pottstown's revitalization. Unfortunately, some women we approached were unable to commit to the panel because they are running their business. But you saw a few of the other amazing women in the opening video, and there are many, many more. So for now, we're going to introduce the folks who have come out today to tell us about their businesses, and we're going to hear about what they have to say about their investment in Pottstown. So let me quickly welcome our guests. Going down the row here, we have Pearl Sambusan. She is the Director of Development for Wynn Signature Restaurants. Tracy Purdy, the proprietor of 3 Daughters Inn Bed and Breakfast. Shaila Adurlu, owner of Amruth Brewing Company, formerly known as Cuisine India. Lisa Applegate, owner of Studio 36 Artisan Jewelry. Gina Spies, owner of Once Upon a Time Consignment Boutique. April Parchesi, who is the president and CEO of Cedarville Engineering. Akea Worthington, a co-owner of Welcome to the Avenue. Her husband appeared in the video this morning. And also Krista Costello, who is a Pottstown real estate developer and investor. Please welcome our panel. Okay, so what we'll do, I'm going to ask a few questions just to get things going, and I'm going to actually put a timer on to try and keep on track so we leave some time for question and answers from all of you. Okay, first of all, let's start out. This is going to be the speed dating round. So to keep things moving, if you could each just, you've been introduced, give your 30-second elevator speech about what you do and where your business is in Pottstown. We'll start with Pearl.
Hi, my name is Pearl. So my parents started the Wynn Signature Restaurant Group. We have a group of restaurants, 4 in the main line, and then we're going to bring our newest restaurant to the 152 High Street building, hopefully by August. And we're very excited to be here, and we're very excited to bring a new spot to the town.
If anyone's not familiar, that is the building formerly known as the Brick House.
I'm Tracy Purdy. My husband Jay and I moved to Pottstown in December, and we're opening a bed and breakfast called 3 Daughters Inn at 1016 East High Street, which is just a few doors east of Jack Cassidy's Irish Pub. And it should be open at the end of May for a soft opening, and then our grand opening should be in June. So.
Hi, I'm Shaila Adluru. I used to own Cuisine India. It's the same thing now. It's called Amruth Brewery. We added a brewery to it and the social kitchen. And also we have a medical practice on 400 Block. And I own a few other properties in Pottstown. And I'm a mother of 2 kids.
Hi, my name is Lisa Applegate, and I'm the owner of Studio 36 Beach Shop and Artisans Gallery. We opened our doors in October of last year, moved to Pottstown in '94, and are really excited to be part of the revitalization. We're located at 105 East High Street, right across from Borough Hall, and right next door to the Avenue.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gina Spies. I'm the owner of Once Upon a Time Consignment Boutique. I'm really excited about being in Pottstown, picking Pottstown, but having Pottstown pick me as well. But I started my business in 2013, originally on Moser Road in Pottstown. From there, I had gained the opportunity to move my journey to 254 East High Street. It's Once Upon a Time Consignment Boutique. We offer designer brand clothing at a fraction of the cost for the entire family, men included, from casual to special occasion wear. And all of you look beautiful, so I know you probably have some things to consign. And I'm excited about being in Pottstown.
Good morning, I'm April Barcassi from Cedarville Engineering Group. We're a civil and environmental company located at 159 East High Street. We focused on infrastructure, and so being in Pottstown is the place to be. As we improve infrastructure, it allows for economic development of the community, so that's why we're here today.
Hi, my name is Kia Worthington. I'm co-owner of Welcome to the Avenue. We're an authentic Caribbean restaurant. We're at 107, so we're down the farther end. We really enjoy being in Pottstown and being a part of the growth. We try to help out any way we can in the community. We've done several fundraisers for different organizations at our site and also assisted with off-site. Please come in and talk to me if there's anything that we can do. We do catering, events. Other than that, we're BYOB, and we hope to bring an experience into you guys, so please come in and visit.
Hi, I'm Krista Costello. My husband and I picked Pottstown about 7 years ago to invest in residential housing and some commercial housing.
My first question is, bearing our potential new investors in mind, what was the biggest selling point to you, Pottstown's biggest draw, when you were considering opening your business in Pottstown? Any element that was particularly attractive to you?
My husband and I moved to Pennsylvania 11 years ago from Chicago, and we didn't know anything about Pennsylvania when we moved here, and our issue when we lived in Chicago was how far we lived from where we worked. So when we moved here, we kind of just arbitrarily drew a line around our jobs, and we tried to live as close as possible, and that ended us up in Collegeville. And when we moved there, our kids got to school and said, "Where are all the brown people?" And we were appalled, actually, because there weren't any, and we were like, what in the world is this? So we started going to church in Pottstown because that's where the brown people were, and that's what our kids were used to, and that's where they started to make friends. So as soon as, and we had kids in high school and tried to just kind of push them through, because moving them twice in that time period of their life was really difficult. But as soon as our kids were approaching the age of graduation, we decided we were moving over here because this is kind of where our life had become. So for us, it was the people in Pottstown. We wanted to be here where our friends were. So that is the reason why we moved here. We love the people in this town.
Yes. Actually, I am from Collegeville, and I'm brown. I'm right next to you. Basically, we were in Collegeville in the medical practice, and my husband was working at the Pottstown Hospital. So we moved here because of the Pottstown Hospital initially, just to open the medical practice. But during that process, I was along with him, like looking for opportunities to invest. So two things mainly that attracted me to Pottstown was, number one, the place, as she said, the people, the community. They just welcomed me with open arms. And in fact, a friend of mine, she's right here. She is the main reason who requested you should open an Indian restaurant in this town. We need it, Amy. So just like her, a few other people welcomed us in this town, and we really felt comfortable. The second reason was economic incentive. Like, you have the same price if you put it in another town in Collegeville, you won't get anything. So we saw there's a lot of work need to be done, and they were the borough, or PAID or PADIDA, they're all working together towards a revitalization and redevelopment of this town. So we thought, why not be part of the team and work together, and also at the same time invest in this town, take advantage of the pricing, which is very low at the time. So these are the things which motivated me or made me interested to come into the town.
For us, it was about workforce development. We needed to be able to attract and retain young professionals of all ages, let me not be discriminatory there, with the amenities that they're looking for as an urban, authentic experience, but at an affordable price. So Pottstown has all the ingredients for that with anchor institutions like the Hill School, Montgomery County Community College, the trail, the amenities that are coming in through other investors. And this is the only way for a small business of a professional services type like myself to be competitive against large engineering firms, is to provide some kind of outside amenity attraction to be able to live and work in a community that, you know, will, as I said, gain and maintain our workforce.
The reason why I picked Pottstown, you know, when you're trying to start your business, you're going to look for the most affordable spot so that you can kind of hang in there for a few years. So that was the thing that really had attracted me to Pottstown, because I went and I looked other places, but it wasn't affordable for me. And what really inspired me about Pottstown, and here it was right in my own backyard, that when I went out and I looked at the properties, it was beautiful. And the way the owners embraced the vision that I had and opened up that door of opportunity for me. And that's what's been really inspiring to me here in Pottstown, how the people really want the town to be successful, and they really will work with you and encourage you to move on. So I am so glad that Pottstown picked me and I picked Pottstown, because it is affordable and the people are compassionate and they want to see this town go.
I love stories. Do any of you have a short, memorable anecdote that shows you why you made the right decision to set up in town? Something that you heard from a client or a customer who walked in off the street, or just something that your women's intuition has told you is, you know, you made the right choice. How do you know you made the right choice to invest in Pottstown?
Well, for us, I think one of the best vibes I get when people come into the shop and they start reminiscing about the good old days and how happy they are to see that Pottstown's finally coming around, and the revitalization has changed the landscape over the past 20 years. You've seen the peaks and the valleys. So just hearing people say it's about time. And it's coming from the business owners and the community at large, where people are just starting to talk it up. They're very positive about the change and love the architecture and all the history and wonderful elements that town has to offer. So it's been really exciting.
I'd like to point out that there's been some trouble in Pottstown lately, but one of the eye-opening moments for me is when I needed to run back to the office in the wee hours of the night. And I entered my building and felt completely safe and did what I needed to do, forgot whatever, or picked up whatever I forgot, came back out, and I spent some time in the darkness at High in Hanover and just kind of reflected on what was going on in town, and was completely comfortable in that time and space as a woman on the street corner in the middle of the night. So regardless of the news and what we're hearing, and there's going to be struggles everywhere, I have never had a moment in Pottstown where I was scared. And I just want to make sure that those people who may think otherwise, they can come out and I'll meet them on the street corner at any time of night, and we'll see what I see.
So we're still in construction phase with the brick house space, and I'm in there a couple times during the week. And I would say every time I'm there, there's always somebody peeking through the window, just trying to see what's going on. It's been a long process, but I think it's that kind of excitement that brings a town back to what it used to be. And it really takes a village, and knowing that everyone's very excited and ready to get involved and see what's going on, I think is really promising.
Okay, that's awesome. Let's move on to the next question. And I'm going to put Akea on the spot because you haven't said too much. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Akea. Okay. And then we'll let others join in as well. But with a newer business, you've been here a relatively short time, and some of you also starting up or whatever. What has been your biggest challenge in getting going in Pottstown? And if you have a piece of advice for dealing with challenges like that? What would that be for new investors?
Okay, so yeah, May will be a year for us. I guess there's, as a new business, you know what I mean, you're just like fresh fish with everything. From, you know, your telephone company, your internet, your everything. It's just, you know, you get it from all different angles. So it is very helpful to have people to communicate with or that know the different things that can help you. So even your point of sales, they're very, very competitive. And just, you know, little things like that, that does help out as a business. Again, like piggybacking what everybody says here, Pottstown is great as far as the people, the diverse. There's so many people from different cultural backgrounds, and you get to meet these people, and that just, you know, that alone, and it's like, well, especially in our industry, in the restaurant, people come out and, you know, they trusting you, so you're gaining that relationship, and, you know, so I think that definitely helps a lot. And I mean, honestly, we couldn't be where we were if we didn't have the community. Like, just, you know, that was it for resources, just everything, and it seems like everybody was so helpful. So that definitely helps. I mean, we've worked with other counties, and some of them aren't as warming and welcoming as Montgomery and the Pottstown. So that's very, very helpful. I know the biggest thing is nowadays, it's like marketing, everything is social media, but then at the other 90% is like, stay away from social media, because I can tell everybody that. But I mean, of course, it is great. It does spread the news, and it is great for marketing, especially that generational, that's all they know anymore. But word of mouth is still good, that still works. That's it, and I think with everybody, whatever you're doing, just stay true to yourself, you know your worth, and you'll do well.
That's great. Krista, how about you? Because you're dealing with a lot of different moving parts too with your businesses.
When my husband and I first started 7 years ago, we bought our first property, and I felt like the perception of Pottstown at that time wasn't that great, and so we didn't get a lot of positive feedback. I think it's grown tremendously, and now I hear a lot of positive feedback, and I love the support of the community. I think everyone wants to see everybody be successful here, and so you really do get that support from everyone. When we first walked down the downtown, we saw the architecture and we saw the location, and we just saw the potential there for it to be something special, and that's why we started investing in Pottstown. I love that it's a walkable community. There's Schuylkill Trails right there where you can, you know, bike along it, you can walk to it. The park that has a lot of activities for families to do. I just think it's definitely going to be something special. It's making that change now, and I love to see it, and I love to see all the positivity that we're getting now. So I think everyone would agree with me with that.
I think one of the important things for me was never owning a small business before, and moving the business into downtown Pottstown is just having the ability to believe in yourself. You know, you're going to have to come so many obstacles and things that you're not necessarily equipped to handle. So I was fortunate that I reached out to the local SCORE office, and they were very instrumental in giving me a lot of the guidance and helping me recognize where my weaknesses are. So for those of you who are even considering opening a business, know that there's a bunch of retired and non-retired executives there to help you with all the struggles that you may encounter when you open your doors. So I encourage you to reach out to them because it's hard work. You can't kid yourself. I mean, it's 12, 14, 16-hour days to get things done at times. But I think when you can identify the resources that you need to help you achieve those goals, it will certainly help you be successful.
All right. And by the way, I have not paid any of these women to say any of these great things about Pottstown, but boy, it warms my heart to hear it. But let's ask a tougher question and try and keep your answers short because we really want to give the opportunity for question and answers. What can Pottstown do better? 10 words or less. What can we do better to help our investors?
I have a thing. stop kicking yourself around so much. You know, I'm a Facebook person. I'm on Facebook a lot. And one of the things I think we do to ourselves in Pottstown is we are continually putting ourselves down. You know, you can't succeed if you don't think you can succeed. So as you talk about Pottstown, talk about the positives. There are negatives here, certainly. I'm not, okay, I am a little Pollyanna. I am, I admit that. You know, but I'm not ignorant of the issues. I know what they are and I'm aware of them and I want to make them better. But on the other hand, I see the positives about this community, and that's what I talk up. I talk about the fun things that there are to do in this town. I talk about the wonderful people that are here. I talk about that it's a small, geographically it's small, so I can walk to everything from my house. You know, I love the bike lanes. I love the architecture. I love the beautiful trees. I love the scenery here in town. Talk up the good things. And yes, the bad things exist, but we don't have to belabor that. We don't have to beat it to death. So, you know, be positive. I think that's something we could do better.
What I'd like to say is that I think it will be real important that as Pottstown blows up, because it's going to blow up, that we remember when, and that we don't forget how we co-work together, how we, did what we had to do considering one another, which, what was beautiful to me, like going downtown and having to have to shovel my own sidewalk and have my neighboring business owner out helping to do that. Also, we know that we live in a town where we're dealing with some homeless issues and crime things, but I believe it's so important that we remember to treat everybody the way that we would want to be treated. And I think you will be surprised at the results. Because, if we're honest, the same thing can happen to us one day. Things can easily change. And it's beautiful how when you treat every person that comes in your business like they're just as good as anybody else, how they interact with you and the result of that. And they too have a story and they too have a dream, but maybe on the downside at the moment. But if we would remember when, and never forget that, because somebody that I met that opened up the opportunity for me and made it possible for me to be where I am now said something that I'm never going to forget. And what it was is that I was negotiating for my rent because I wanted a good deal. And, and the person heard me. And what they said, I remember when I was hungry too. Now you could take that negative or positive, but to me, that was a positive because I am hungry for wanting to be successful. And because that person who's already a wise and a successful man, he remembered when. And I believe that if as we become a great city that's going to prosper and be all that we're hoping, that we don't forget when we were hungry and how we networked and helped one another, believed in each other, motivated one another. I think we will continue to be on the road of success forever if we would do that.
I was just going to say, one of the things I think that we still struggle with a little bit is getting the word out. I still get people that say, I didn't know that was going on in Pottstown, or I wasn't aware that a new business opened. I know social media can be a huge help with that, but I do think that seems to still be a little bit of a struggle as newer things are coming into town and events are going on, and hopefully we can figure out a better way to get the word out about Pottstown.
All right, that's a great point, and that gives me an opportunity to say as well, in my role at Hobart's Run, we're not just about the neighborhood revitalization. We are about wanting to partner with Pottstown, and on our Facebook page, which is growing like crazy, I'm really happy to see, if we know of a new business that's opening up, we we are happy to try and get the word out for you. So if you are opening up a new business or you're a nonprofit and you're having an event or something, please contact me. I've got business cards out there, and my contact information is in your packet. And I'm happy to use that mouthpiece to help get things out, and then further people can share it, because it is so important. So I'm gonna get a microphone down. Amy, can you help me with this? Thank you. And I hope you have some questions for these beautiful women.
Since it's a panel of all women, I'm curious to know how your gender might play out in being a business owner. Whether you all connect with one another as sort of women entrepreneurs, anything like that. I'm curious to know.
Well, one way that's been great for networking together as women, I just recently became a member of the Tri-County Chamber of Commerce, and they're excellent for empowering and connecting the women in the community. And I'm looking forward to be able to be with my friends in business here by the things that the community is going to be offering, like the networking events that's going to be taking place, the hours that the other businesses that are coming on board. Like I met a young lady in the audience that's opening up a coffee shop that's going to open at 6 in the morning, which is great for those of us who have to work at 10. So that's going to be opportunities to network. But the Chamber of Commerce is an excellent place for the women in business to network.
That's a good question, actually. We have, in fact, the Pottstown, even though economically is a little bit down here, this place is more connected to the community compared to a lot of other towns that I have been to. Because one, as she said, the Tri-County Chamber, and we have a paid, who's Peggy Lee, and Hobart's one. They do the breakfast every month, and also the borough. So once you get involved in this community, and the community members also come forward and they get you connected one-on-one. And I would say here is very stronger, the connections. If somebody comes in and they invest, within a week we come to know there's some new person is in the town. So definitely we'll be meeting something or other. And also there are a lot of events going on here. This town is very popular for nonprofit organizations. So everywhere you go, just take checkbook with you. You can go to the, I'm sorry, Amy. So either Steel River, the Playhouse, or Go Forth Festival, or school, something, or a carousel. So there's a lot of events going on. Even though I live in Collegeville, and I work at the county, and I travel to different towns around here, but my calendar gets busier with the Pottstown events compared to all other towns. So it's that tight here, the connections are here. It's very much connected, and the woman, definitely moving forward, we can make that connection within the woman.
I have a very quick question. I know everyone's interested in, where's that coffee shop opening and when? Who's the coffee shop opener? Raise your hand. Woo!
Yes. Here we have, it's going to be...
Are you at liberty to divulge that information at this time?
Yeah, we'll give you the mic for this, because everyone needs coffee, especially this morning.
Hello, everyone. My name is Melinda Hoagie, and I'm partnering with Lawton DeLisser, and the plan is to open up the coffee shop starting mid-May. So it's called Honey's Homebrew Cafe. And along with that, just so you're aware, he and his daughter Lauren are also opening a vegan restaurant, and that's called Seed and Soil. So he can tell you a little bit more about that as far as opening date. It's in the Farmers Market in Pottstown on High Street.
All right, thank you. Great question. Anyone else?
Hi, I'm Chelsea. I moved to Pottstown and bought my first house here in 2011, and I've been saying ever since then that Pottstown's booming. I think Gina kind of touched on that, and I was like, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So I guess my question for you is, what do you say to the naysayers that kind of say that it's not happening, or it's a couple years out, or something like that. I hear it in my profession, but also personally. I'm a big proponent of Pottstown, talk about it a lot, and I kind of get a pushback sometimes here and there, like, oh, it's not happening, other cities are happening first. So I guess just a couple words to help me rebut that.
So I don't say, I show. So if somebody says to me, no, I'm not a Pottstown person, I don't buy it, whatever, I bring them over here and I show them something that I love. I take them out to dinner, or we, go do something in town. I take them to a play, or we go axe throwing, or we run by a bead store, or we do something that I love here in town, because I show them and I go, look, this is awesome. This is why I like it here. So I think actions speak louder than words. Take them out and show them something. Feed them something at one of our awesome restaurants. That always works.
Fortunately, we've got enough momentum in the last 5 years, especially and it's building. I mean, in the last 2 years, you can see a market growth from 2 years before that. So I don't worry about naysayers, and most of the people in this room that I know very well don't worry about it either, because we have the momentum, and those that are investing are already making money on their investments. So let the naysayers be the naysayers. They can go somewhere else, and Pottstown can thrive with what we've got here, and we'll continue to grow and attract believers.
Awesome. Another question.
As someone who was born and raised in Pottstown, I really appreciate all the positive energy and all the great spirit that you bring along with your great businesses. I have a question along the lines of support for local business and entrepreneurs. And the question is, if additional resources were to become available, maybe we heard marketing and communications, for maybe facade improvement, or maybe even operational support of some kind, whatever. Those are just examples. But if additional resources were available, what do you think would have the greatest impact as a local business owner?
Well, for me, I go back to SCORE. They've been very instrumental. They have the resources there that can direct you to the individuals you need to align to help you build your business. It's making them available at a reasonable cost. We're small businesses. We're working crazy hours. It's amazing how many people knock on the door for POS systems and for marketing, and you're really not equipped when you're first opening and to answer those questions. So it's having somebody with the skill set to help you make those smart business decisions, so you don't get sucked into something that you're not prepared to pay out for the next 12 months. But just finding somebody who can communicate the word in an honest fashion to help us move along.
Anybody else?
So your question was, if we would get finances, how would we use the finances that we would get? Or what would be the need if you're in small business?
The need in general, maybe it's not your particular case, but in general, the support for a business owner in this community. We hear marketing, communications, sometimes it's difficult to get the word out. But in what area do you think could have the greatest impact?
Definitely getting the word out, as Krista had mentioned, about how we could network, how to have the assistance of using social media to better benefit your business. But one thing that is happening, I feel, in Pottstown is, like we had mentioned about the chamber, about paid, the education that you get. It really helps you, because it's not, because I thought maybe you were going where getting money to actually be able to use for your business. I know that's not available, but what's powerful and is available is that you can gain knowledge from other people who've been successful that can guide you with networking you with someone just in the conversation here. I'm looking forward to networking with someone that's going to be able to help me to get some aid in operations in my business. Talking with someone and networking on how to better improve with getting my message out on social media. Those are the things that will help an entrepreneur, a small business in Pottstown. If we keep doing those type of things, we can be successful that way, where we can spread the knowledge in our success when we have experience.
So just one thing I've noticed, there's a lot of advice available, a lot of knowledge in town to help somebody get a small business started. One of the things that's difficult, though, is funding. So one of the other hats I wear is I write the Positively Pottstown blog, and in a few blog posts ago we talked about, if you could have any business downtown that you would like to have, what would it be? Just so we could kind of brainstorm and say, what's missing from downtown? What do we need? And tons of ideas were thrown out there. And we got into some really deep conversations with people. And there's people out there that want to open a business. They don't know how to get started. And so, we talked about SCORE as a resource and where they could go to get that kind of help. And then the other problem was people don't have the resources to start it in terms of finances. So, a possibility for a program would be low-interest loans for starting up a business, or some sort of a connector for getting an investor to a person that wants to start a business. Something along those lines might be something that would be a really good resource for someone starting a business.
Okay, let's do one more question, and then we're gonna have to wrap up, so we can switch if you'd like.
A simple question for Ms. Costello. Yes. As a fellow real estate investor, all my stuff's down in Delaware County. I have mid-teen number of households. How's your experience been with code enforcement and magistrate courts and whatnot around here? Are they landlord friendly, or are they letting the hoarder next door go to hell while you're getting hammered on your lawn?
I think your question was working with the borough as far as being a landlord. Is that correct? I think they've actually been very good with working with us in that sense. I feel like it's changed a lot from when we first started, and I definitely see a lot more help as far as being a landlord in Pottstown or wanting to invest either residential or commercial with them. I also did want to mention, we do have, for anyone who is interested in investing in Pottstown, we do have a housing coalition. There will be more information later in the day about that. If you're interested, you can talk to me, or there'll be more information out in the lobby about that.
Does anyone else want to shed light on that?
Yeah. It is no different than from any other boroughs, but the only thing is, yes, there are some hiccups here. The time frame, it may take months sometime, depending upon the season of the year. There are certain months you may have to wait for a month or 6 weeks even for them to come in and get the inspection date, or even to come in and check something. But overall, compared to other boroughs, here is much better in terms of getting the work done. I know a couple years ago it was bad, but I think they're trying to streamline now. They see the change is coming up and the demands are increasing, and the borough also, there's a lot of pressure. People like us, we put a lot of pressure on them. We are not able to succeed because of you, because you're not cooperating. So it's easy to jump, but once you start working with other boroughs, then you will appreciate they're doing a much better job compared to other boroughs. I will not say it's going to be very smooth. Just be prepared. But however, at the end, you'll get succeed. Good luck.
On that note, good luck. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break. You can stay and hear these women again. You can go to the other panel down in the Boyer Gallery. But first, please thank our panelists.